Welcome to Crochet ADHD. I'm your host, Jackie. If this is your first time watching my channel, welcome. You're a one-hit wonder. I'm so glad you're here. If you're a repeat offender, a member of the GlamFam, pretty sneaky, sis. Y'all ever play Connect 4? It is time for the February LP. Everything that I made and everything I finished and started and all the stuff that took place in February, plus what I'm planning to do in March and going forward. We will start the finished objects with what Hetty is wearing. I am so proud of this make because it was done in 2 days.
What?
It is the South Bay Shawlette, which is a Lion Brand pattern, and the yarn I used is Bella Cash by Universal Yarn, and I made it to go with this dress. Not Hetty was right in assuming or stating that I would get it done with time to spare. So she came out really cute. She's a little bit short. I was able to wear it, but it was just a little short. And I think because I still have some more of this yarn, I may go and add another 2 rounds because it's a 2-round repeat. I might do that. I don't know. But it looks good on Hetty also. That's a really pretty color. That color is called Apple. For finished objects, okay, another one will be the Lost in Time shawl. I have to show you a picture because I do not have it anymore. I made it and I sent it off to, where did it go? Oh, it went to Texas. No, it didn't. It went to Arkansas, where I hope she will live her best life. I had so much fun making that shawl. I think I gave myself 6 weeks to finish it because I wanted to have it in the mail no later than March 1st. And I finished it, the middle of February. So yay. That one's fun. And all of the yarn used in that shawl was from the Whimsical U. And if you remember from when I went on my trip to Mississippi to the Fiber Fun in the Sip fiber event, yeah, that is where I met Rachel from the Whimsical U, and I got some of her yarn there. Next on the finished objects list is, let me see, checking my notebook, my handy dandy notebook. The squares that I made for the Hip to Be Square Mal in February. This square was from my calendar inspiration photo from February. I can't remember this. This is one of the squares from the one of my square pattern books. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a, let me see if I can make it look better. Ooh, not really. There's a wagon wheel in the middle of that with then granny squares on the outside. This one is just a granny square, and the colors were from Judy's February bird photo inspiration. Yeah. And because I am extra, I made a bonus square, and it's just a granny, and I'm using, this is leftover yarn from the Lost in Time shawl, and then this little piece on the end was left over from this one. So far, as of today, I have 8 squares because I did 3 for January, 3 for February, and I've already made my March squares, but I'm not going to show you that until later. Unless you're following me on Instagram, in which case you will have already seen it. I told you that I showed you that I added pockets to my Hazy Shade of Winter cardigan. Joy, joy, joy. Oh, I made a cardigan for Not Hetty. Here's the photo. Now I use the same pattern that I used to make my Hazy Shade of Winter cardigan. However, I did not put pockets on hers. She didn't ask for pockets. I'll have to ask her if she wants pockets to be added, because pockets are where it's at, y'all. I know women for so long have been pocketless. So anytime we can add a pocket, or we find out that a dress, especially if a dress has pockets, ooh, it's like we have the biggest secret in the world. Next finished object is a shawl that I started making in January for the Whodunit make along, and then because I didn't finish it in January, the same group, the two sisters and some yarn, they did a challenge for February, frog it or finish it February. So I figured, okay, I'll go ahead and just pick up on finishing the shawl. It didn't occur to me literally until February 27th that frog it or finish it meant that if I didn't finish it, I was going to have to frog the whole thing. No, not with all the starts and stops with this. No, I was not going to do it. So, thankfully, because there was an extra day in February, ta-da! Oh, yeah. She is blocked and dry. And we're not going to discuss the tail. Yeah. My only, I'm going to use the word issue, but that's not what I mean. But my only issue, I have no idea how to wear this. Like, at all. It is an asymmetrical shawl pattern, which I've made before. I've never made one shaped quite like this because it's so much thinner on the end. Normally when I do asymmetrical, it ends up looking like a lopsided triangle. I have no idea how I'm going to wear this, but she pretty. Look at the drape. Look at that. And this yarn, I can't remember the name of it, but it came from All Dyed Up Fiber in Canada. And it is so soft, and it's got bounce because I used this Tunisian knit. This is originally a knit pattern, that I hacked for Tunisian knit. And can she hack it? Yes, she did. It almost looks like a scarf. So I'm thinking maybe when it gets, I'm not going to say winter because, Louisiana, but when we hit that winter-esque day later on in the year, I might just wear it like a scarf. So unless somebody can tell me how you're supposed to wear this style shawl. Last whip, check off that, is, I named him, let me start it. So if you are not following me on Instagram and you don't look at the community tab here on YouTube because maybe you just watch all your videos on TV, that's fine. You will not have necessarily seen that I made an emotional support chick. Now, a couple of things I want to say. Firstly, the first one I made was using my knitting machine because there is a company, and I've mentioned it before, the Knitting Tree LA. They came out with a beautiful, gorgeous, quirky pattern called the Emotional Support Chicken. And it is made like, I don't, you know what, I don't even know how it's made. You can buy just the pattern for $5 on Ravelry, I believe, or you can get the kit, which is $40. So when I saw that, I immediately was like, I need one, but I don't knit. So I took to my knitting machine. Then I was like, this is so cool, but because again, you know, I am crochet to the core. I wanted to see if I can make one using standard crochet. So I did. Woo! Now, this is based off of the knitting machine version of the emotional support chick. Okay. The Knitting Tree LA is currently testing a crocheted version of their knitting or their emotional support chicken. This is just my take on what I think is just absolutely adorable. This pattern is currently being tested by a few YouTube friends of mine. I struggled with writing putting the instructions in writing because you know how you, if you're a person that just pick up some yarn and you just start working with it and you're not following a pattern, it's just coming off the top of your head, and then trying to translate this into the written word for others, it's a bit of a challenge. So I've gotten so much wonderful feedback from the testers as far as, you know, you should say this and don't say that and this, that, and the other, because I know what I mean, but I needed to make it easy for others to know what I mean. This is Henry the Fourth because he is the fourth emotional support chick that I have made. He will not be the last. I'm actually working on, I was working on another one, but I don't like how this one came out. He looks like a snail. I feel like I'm just going to leave him literally just like this because, yeah. Anyway, so he is the last of my finished objects for February. Next up, whips. First on the whips list is the scrap shawl that I'm working on. Now this, I'm using the scraps from my fingering weight projects that I'm working on through the year. And here is an update photo. So this part right here, that's from the, what did I call it? The Murder Knits asymmetrical shawl that I showed you. And this part right here is from the squares that I've made for March. Let me see what else is in here. Okay, there's a little piece right here from my calendar inspiration for February. It's so interesting looking at scrap granny projects because never would I have picked up any of these colors and said, let's put them together. And yet they just look so happy together. Ooh, this line right here, that is something. Oh, I actually only have 3 whips. That one's the first one, but that's an ongoing whip, but I'm still gonna include it. I have another ongoing whip, which is my challenge sweater. If you've been following, Lynn Ann from Nina's Knots Crochet and I are challenging each other to convert a knit sweater pattern into Tunisian crochet. So I have a progress keeper on here, so I'll show you where it was the last time we talked about it, which is right here. So I've only put in I've done 3 rows since we last chatted. It's at the part of the pattern where I'm supposed to start the shaping for the armholes, because this is the back. But I think I'm going to hack the pattern again, and this might turn out to be a vest instead of a sweater. I mean, you know, like a sleeved sweater. Just because I am sleeved out right now. Honestly, I am sleeved out. Okay. So yeah, this here. So even with the shoulder, I mean the sleeve shape, what is it called? Hang on. Armhole shaping. So I'm gonna follow it as far as that, and then because it goes from, this is a free pattern so I can show you. So you go, you know, you do the back up to a certain length, then you shape the armholes, and then you shape the neck, and then you shape the shoulders, and then you make the front, and then shape the neck on the front, shape the shoulders. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, as long as it doesn't look like, I hope that it will look like a vest and not like I simply just stopped before I got to the sleeves. I will put ribbing, you know, in the armhole area so it gives it a completely finished look. But I'm really liking the idea of the vest because I think with the fiber content of the yarn, I should be able to wear this in spring. Because I want to be able to wear it in the spring. Even though I gave myself until December 31st, 2024 to have this complete, I really want to have it complete by the spring. If I don't, whatever, it'll be finished for fall of this year, whatever. So my third whip, I called it my spike cardigan. I'm again using the Briar Pocket cardigan pattern by Grace for the Frills because I just can't get enough. I'm using wool of the Andes, which is yarn that I have in my Fibratory. I've shown y'all this before when I did my tour of the Closet of Shame. It is wool of the Andes and also Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool. I'm almost finished with it. I've redone the sleeves 3 times. That's why I am sleeved out. But here it is. And the reason I called it the spike cardigan is because I just added these little droplets. Now, I'm upset because, not upset. I would have loved to have done this on the front, but because of the way it's constructed, the spikes would have been going in the wrong direction. If I have enough yarn, which I should, but if I have enough yarn, I might go back after I've finished it and add in the spike things on the front to match the ones on the back. I hope that made sense. What am I telling you? Wool of the Andes is 100% wool. This dark blue, I only had a teeny tiny amount of it. I don't remember. I think it's like mystery wool yarn, but I used it like when I look at it, it reminds me of like in a comic book, not a comic book, a coloring book, how you have the hard black edges, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. But 2 blues. This is Colonial Williamsburg, and this is Mist, and then this is just the natural Fisherman's Wool from Lion Brand. I've been doing the sleeves concurrently. Big word for Jackie. So I'll work a little bit on this side, and then I'll work a little bit on this side. I'm going to say I'm about 14 rows from being finished, I think.
A few moments later.
All right, I might be a little more than 12 rows from being finished. So this is, yeah, God, it feels so awkward. I know that people wear, like, was it 3/4 inch sleeve? I could not, because it just, it feels like it's a reminder that your clothes don't fit. Sleeves gave me so much trouble, and I've made the pattern several times, so it really should not be a problem, but my mind is just, stress sucks. I don't recommend it. That's the whips. Next up, what? Oh, okay, I'm gonna talk about make-alongs. I don't have a little card for make-alongs. This sweater that I just showed you, the cardigan, is being made for the Woolly Knits and Young Folk Knits make-along, and it ends, I don't know, maybe by the time you see this, it will have ended, which is another reason why I need to, hurry up and get this finished. Hip to be square. All right. So prizes are going to be drawn quarterly, and that means that the first draw will be at the end of March. Make sure you get your squares in. Email them to me if you are not on Instagram or Ravelry, or you don't want to use either of those. Email them to me. My email address is crochetdhd@gmail.com, and put hip to be square something in the subject line. You can use the hashtag hip to be square mal on Instagram. You can also, I just found this out, on Ravelry, you can also use tags when you put your projects in, and you can use the hashtag hip to be square mal on Ravelry, or you can upload it to the GlamFam Ravelry group under the heading of hip to be square. That was a lot. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, but remember, prizes every quarter, and I can't wait. I can't wait to show you the first quarter's prizes. Now, the future. March is Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month, and the color is orange. So I will be making a project that is predominantly orange. I'm using the, I got a, what do you call it? A yarn cake from Mama G, and I think it's cotton. The center of the cake is orange, and then it kind of, changes into like a turquoise color. I love the color the color way, and the orange is going to be like, it's going to be a shawl. Duh. So the orange is going to be like right here. I think it's just going to be so pretty and perfect for MS awareness. Make something orange this month, y'all. It's not a challenge. It's not going to be, anything like that, but just make something orange this month. Support your MS buddies, because we struggle on the daily, but yeah, just make something orange. So I have a shirt, y'all. Okay. If anybody, I'm going to get it right. If any of y'all have friended me on Ravelry, you'll know from my profile pic that I love me some Kermit the Frog. Like, I love Kermit. I love the Muppets, but Kermit is my dude. I love Fozzie too. Kermit's kind of taken over a little bit. Like, when I was a kid, Fozzie was like all that in a bag of chips. I say all that to say this. Somehow or another, we started talking about the song Being Green by Kermit. She said I should gather up all kinds of green yarn and make a shawl out of it. I'm going to take it one step further, in that I'm going to ask you, my GlamFammers, if y'all have at least 10 grams of green fingering weight yarn. It doesn't matter what shade of green it is, but if you have some that you would not mind sending to me, I will put it together in this It's Not Easy Being Green shawl. And it's a community project, and we'll have this It's Not Easy Being Green shawl. If that sounds completely stupid, that's okay too. But I think it would be so fun, really, just to see how many different shades of green exist amongst the GlamFam. I'm not going to try to put like all the same shades of green here, because it's not easy being green. It means that you just, you know, roll with the punches. And that is my idea. I don't know how great that is. I don't know, but this is what I'm thinking, so I'm sharing it with you. Next up, stuff I got. Oh, actually, I don't have much for stuff I got. I pretty much showed y'all everything throughout the month already in individual standalone videos. No stuff to show you. This is the part of the video that I am doing shout outs. And again, I still don't have a card for this part. I just want to shout out 2 YouTube channels that I have enjoyed and I want to share with you. One is called Untwisted Threads. Now, I don't know the name of the person who does the videos, but what she does is amazing. She does basically like yarn reviews, and she has a scale that she uses to basically rank how good a yarn is. She's done like so many yarns, and it's really neat. Her videos are not very long at all, and her voice is very nice to listen to. And I mean, I just kind of put one on and just let it like play all through all the different ones, because some of the yarn I've never heard of before, and it's nice to, you know, be exposed to different yarns. But also she ranks it on how soft it is. She also about the price, the availability of it. You know, like if it was a Cascade yarn, of course that's much more available than say La Bien-Aimée. That was literally the only thing that popped in my head right then. But you know, it's nice to see how she's doing it, and she works up knit samples and explains, you know, how well it worked with her, whether it's metal needles or wood needles, or, you know, whatever. It's really neat because she's really kind of giving you a nice, well-rounded view of the yarn. And most recently, she started adding the feature of she'll go onto Ravelry and look for projects that were made with that yarn and give you an idea. Like she'll say, this is how much this yarn is. So if you want to make a medium-sized sweater, it's going to cost you this much. It's really, really interesting, and something that I feel like it's just good information to have. If you're a yarnist, a yarner. If you're a yarner, this is a good channel to get information that, you know, maybe tuck it away for a later time, but it's good information to have. So that's why I recommend Untwisted Threads. The other one is Cinematic Skeins. Tammy is the host of Cinematic Skeins. She could literally be my sister. She has 2 dogs that apparently love to pay attention to her while she is filming her videos. She dyes yarn. She is a knitter, I think, but she's really fun to watch. And I won a t-shirt from her. And it was so exciting to hear her call my name, because one, she said my name the right way. Right, Lynanne? Some people can do that. She said my name the right way, but I just got so giddy because we because the t-shirt is from a picture from a book that I read as a kid, the monster at the end of this book, and it's a Muppet. So, you know, it touched on all of the yay, hippie, yippee, yippies. So anyway, but yeah, I like Tammy's videos. She spins, she dyes, she knits. She's mainly a connoisseur of fiber arts. She does a lot of, like, you know, she likes to get like fiber of the month clubs because she likes to spin her own fibers. And she, like last year, she had so many advents. I was like just in awe. She had yarn advent, but she also had fiber advent. And I think maybe she bought a fiber and a yarn advent from the same dyer, the same theme, but yet the color as the yarn, it didn't look the same, or like it wasn't dyed the same as the fiber. Again, sometimes I like to put on people like YouTube just for, I don't want to say like just for background noise. I'm not necessarily looking for anything. And so, you know, as I'm watching it, I learn things and I hear things. But when she was showing her advents and she's like, Monday was like odd days of the week were, odd days of the month were for the fiber, and it was a lot, but it was still interesting to watch. I have learned that I have no interest in spinning. Let me rephrase that. I have learned that I have no business spinning yarn, and I'm okay with that. I will never have to question, can I or can I not, because I know now. I appreciate those who do it. It is definitely a skill set. It is a labor of love. I know I can't do it. So when you can't do it, you watch those who do. That is going to wrap it up for February. Y'all, 29 days. I did get a lot accomplished. I made 1, 2, 3 shawls. I'll take it. Life's been very stressful. I'm going to be okay, but it's been pretty stressful. All right. If you like this video, please like this video. If you want to stick around and become a member of the GlamFam, you can do that by clicking that subscribe button. Nope, that one. Nope, that one. That one. And don't forget to rock that notification bell. Until next time, I've been Jackie.